First of all, congratulations. Some people will say probably wait till the 1st of January, but I'll say congratulations to get into the end of the year. It's been a long year. It's been interesting politically, physically, financially, um, geopolitics, entertainment, what have you. It's been one of those years where a lot of things happened, but a lot of things happened every single year, you might say. We had the Zelensky and Trump uh, spectacle. We had Putin going to the US. We had Nigeria and the US. We had the UK Labour Party. We had China and the tariffs. There's a lot, but I'm sure that's not why you clicked on this video. I'm talking about the things that happened recently. And I want to talk about the things that happened recently, particularly the Anthony Joshua incident. First and foremost, my sincere condolences to the families of the dearly departed, including Anthony Joshua, because I understand these were two of his closest friends. They went to Nigeria. For those of you who may not be aware, Anthony Joshua is a class world best boxer of considerable talent, and he's won so much. Loved, Nigerian and British at the same time. He went to Nigeria for a few days. He has a charitable project in Shagamu, Ogun State, and on his way back to Lagos, he was involved in a fatal car accident where two of his closest friends, Shino and Latif, tragically lost their lives. Anthony Joshua was also in the car with the driver. Anthony Joshua was sitting behind the driver, and we understand from official reports that the cause of death was reckless driving, overspeeding, and wrongful overtaking. So we understand that the car was trying to overtake another car and didn't know that there was a parked truck on the hard shoulder or alongside the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and slammed into the truck. And the pictures, the videos, I cannot put it on the social media, and I'll come to that in a second. It was gory. They lost their lives on the spot, and may their souls rest in peace. I can't even imagine what their families are going through. They escorted him to Nigeria and this is not the first time that they've gone to Nigeria, by the way. It's not as if the first time they went there something like this happened. They had been there, I think, 3 times this year for inspection and some other things. And Anthony Joshua himself has been to Nigeria a number of times. But I believe in my heart that speed caused this thing. Now, there are some reports that says that there was a burst tire, but even if it was a burst tire, if you drive at some certain speeds, the chances of fatality, especially the kind of fatalities that two of them suffered in that car must have been doing well over 100 kilometers per hour. If you're doing over 100 kilometers per hour on an expressway, you're calling for trouble if anything happens. If anything happens, there's a reason why they set speed limits. But condolences to the families. It's very unfortunate, very sad. May their souls rest in peace. And Anthony Joshua himself sustained minor injuries. And I'll get to the second point of that. There was no ambulance in sight. There should have been an ambulance that was called, and the ambulance should have gotten there. Maybe not within 10 minutes, depending on where the ambulance was, but at least we should have seen an ambulance get there at some point, given priority to get there at some point, to try and take him to hospital for them to check him. So I understand that Anthony Joshua has left the country, is back in the UK for his medical checkup. Unfortunately, his friends are not going to come back in one piece. They're going to come back, when they do come back, in an undesirable way, because they didn't go back. They didn't go to Nigeria for this and come back. And I know some people are saying things that, oh, no, if Nigeria happens to you, guys, please stop it. Please stop it. This is not the video for that, to be honest. The second part of my point, yes, I do understand the emergency part, that we should do better with emergency services, with ambulances, with better hospitals. But speed was the was the precursor to the accident. If you are able to solve the speed issue, even when you have an accident, you may not. And we can even see that even in a speeding car, the fact that the collision did not happen where AJ sat, you could see that AJ and the driver were able to, keep their lives. But the impact was at where those people sat. It was very close to where the truck hit it, and unfortunately, they lost their lives. So if they had been driving at lesser speeds, the chances that they would have survived is probably much higher. And I have a question: if that truck was not even there, what would have happened? Because it was a hard shoulder. Would he have just gone into something else, a residential building, or it was on the expressway? Would it have just gone into a ditch? I don't know. Into the forest? I don't know. It's a very, very terrible story, very tragic story. Um, there's the part of the hospitals, the ambulance getting there on time, having things like air ambulance, having the right equipment to put him flat, to put Anthony Joshua flat on the ground that will put him into the hospital, into the ambulance that will take him to the hospital, and then those checks will be made. And if the choice is to take him abroad, they'll still take him abroad. But the way people gravitated towards him, they didn't give him any room until some other people got there and now got him. He stood up and then they put him in another car. People were just there taking pictures and videos. And another thing I wanted to also say is this habit of continuously taking pictures or sharing pictures that's been sent to you of a graphic nature needs to stop. It needs to stop. These are members of a family, probably have their own families as well. You wouldn't like it if you had your family pictures, shared everywhere, especially in an undignified manner, especially when they are no more with us. I think we should have some kind of dignity, some kind of respect for the dead. Let's respect the dead and not share their pictures, whether it's on WhatsApp, whether it's on Twitter, wherever. We should not be doing this anymore. And those people also clear the road when there's an incident. Let there be a clear path for the right people to help. And yes, I know I said in the video earlier that emergency services are not there. For those who want to help him, give them room to be able to help him. He should have been laid on the floor. He should have been laid on the floor. He had to walk to get to the other car. You could see him was like, he was wincing. And this is somebody that takes punches for a living, but he was wincing. He was in pain. Mark no words about it. He would have been under a lot of checks now. Some people are saying, oh, about his fight in 2026. Forget about his fight in 2026 for now. The focus now is those people who have died. They need to be taken out of that situation and a proper burial. Understand that they are Muslims. God rest their souls. And the Muslim burials are usually expedited and quicker. So they would know what to do in that situation. The families obviously are aware and probably have gone to Nigeria to identify those dead bodies. Very, very tragic story. As for the driver, what were you doing? What were you doing? What happened? We need to hear from the driver. What happened? Why were you speeding so fast? Did the speed happen after you burst the tire? Was the tire burst? Is it as a result of a panic situation? Because we have to look at all sides of the story. It could be that the driver wasn't that experienced and the tire burst and he decided to overtake, which doesn't make sense to me. The story doesn't make sense. There's still some things we don't know about this story to be able to properly analyze it. But what we do know is that those two are no more with us, and Anthony Joshua is also injured. And it's very, very sad because this was barely how many days after he won the fight against Jake Paul, that Netflix fight He made the most money he's ever made in his life in one day, $92 million. Of course, after taxes, it will be lower than that. He was on top of the world. Everyone was talking about his 2026 fight and how that was going to be $100 million, etc., etc. And barely 2 weeks after this happens, it shows you how life is just up and down, up and down. And God will heal him. God will also heal the members of the family of his friends. God will heal all of them because he's going to go through a lot as well. They went to Shagamu because of him. Though, yes, he was not involved in their deaths, but the mind is the mind. He's going to have to think about it. And may he have the strength to be able to overcome all those thoughts that would come. They went for good things. They didn't go for frivolities. He has a school project in Shagamu, and I believe his father lives there as well. If I'm wrong, put it in the comment section. But he went for a school project. We know that because there's an Instagram video that was shared by one of them, I think Shino, and where he was talking about the remarkable progress that they've made in the school. He was there playing football, one of the boys, and you could see that they were happy that the money that he put was bearing fruit. And charity is a good thing. Doing a foundation is a good thing. Giving back is a good, positive thing. And they were coming back from that. This is not their first time in Nigeria. Some people are saying, oh, Nigeria, this, Nigeria, that. It's not about Nigeria. Yes, in the emergency part, I get it. Now I'm going to go to the truck. People are saying, oh, that truck shouldn't have been parked there. It was a hard shoulder. That's what the hard shoulder is for. Now, I don't have enough information to know how long the truck was parked for and why it was parked there, but that's what the hard shoulder. Anywhere in the world, you will see trucks sometimes or cars sometimes parked in the hard shoulder waiting for emergency services. And that's why those cars, you will see them putting on their blinkers sometimes just to let people know that there's a problem. Sometimes people also use the hard shoulder to do things like ease themselves. I've seen it when I drive. If you have to ease yourself and you're on a motorway and you're far away from a service center, you're not going to do your business in your car. You're going to stop at a hard shoulder and do your business. What if somebody was over speeding and just came and just boom, rammed into the car? It can happen. It has happened. And that's why they're constantly talking about speed. The speed cameras in more advanced countries. There are traffic cops that are stationed on top of bridges, making sure to capture people that are over speeding. You get a ticket. They're saying, oh, go and do this speed awareness course. It's because of things like this. So speed and reckless overtaking was the cause of this accident. The second part is the emergency response and the dignity for human lives by people that were not, they're just crowding the place. And then those people that were sharing the pictures afterwards and the videos without respecting the dead. There's a lot that has gone wrong. And society is broken. And yes, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, I believe it happened on the Ibadan side or your state side, or Ogun State side, sorry. Ogun State needs to do something about it. Ogun State, sorry, needs to do something about it. In terms of deploying the ambulance. I don't know much about the situation, but the fact that the ambulance did not arrive, must have been there for over an hour and no ambulance was there on site. It's bad for the optics. We need to do better in that side in terms of emergency services. It's an accident and can happen anywhere in the world. And it does happen everywhere in the world. There's an accident everywhere in the world, every single day. As advanced as we are, people still drink drive. You still have people that drive under the influence. You still have people that overspeed. It's sad. I hope you've had a good year. Otherwise, ending on a very positive note on this video. I hope you got all you wanted from 2025. If you didn't, you only have less than 12 hours. God will do it in 2026 for you. And I hope and pray that your dreams come true in 2026. For me, it's gratitude. Just have gratitude. Have an attitude of gratitude. And if you take that into 2026, I think you'll be okay. If you're going out, you're driving, be safe. Don't drink and drive. Be safe. Don't speed. Don't overspeed. Respect the laws. Respect the speed limit. You're still going to get there. Maximum, if you get there 20 minutes quicker because you spared, what is that 20 minutes going to do to you? Compared to a lifetime of regret, somebody has died or you lost your limbs. So many people you see in wheelchairs when you go out shopping. Some of those people, it's not all of them that are illness. Some of them was an accident. Some a reckless driver hit them. Some they were the ones that were reckless. Let's learn from this. My respect to the dead. Anthony Joshua, heal well. Families of the dearly departed, I'm so sorry, and I give you my condolences. If you're here for the first time, it's my first video on this channel, Uncle Yemi Reacts. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up, encourage me. This is my first video, and leave a comment. Let's start a community. And if you have something you want me to react to as well, please put it in the comment section. I'll set up an email address for this later, etc. But now I'm just starting this, and I hope I'm going to do more of this in 2026 and beyond. Till then, have a fantastic end of the year, and see you in the next one.